Welcome to Talking About Sports, the Carolina's #1 sports podcast. We're on location. We're at BB&T Ballpark with William Wilson, and back from a extended tour of Europe, Scandinavia, and the subcontinent, Reggie Walker.
What's happening?
Reggie,
What's happening, fellas?
Making the big money. Somebody is. I'm glad.
And lost some weight and look how slim and svelte in the building.
Got to stay in the gym. Got to stay in the gym.
You on that keto deal with
ain't nobody with me shooting in the gym, but you got to stay in the gym.
All right.
I see it in the gym. I walk by. I know some people named Jim. So,
All right.
I got a gym in my building.
Glad to be at BB&T. Always good to be at the ballpark. I love baseball. We all love baseball. Reggie's a Giants fan.
Go
I'm a Reds
Giants.
fan. Will, you got clients who are with the Yankees, so so that's good. What's that guy's name? The left pitcher?
Jordan Montgomery.
All right, so we love there, and we love the Charlotte Knights. This is the #1 ballpark in all the minor leagues. Ever since it's been built, it leads all of minor leagues in attendance. It's got great amenities, great food. It's right here. Look around us. You got the whole uptown area all surrounding us. Will, you got your penthouse is right behind us somewhere.
Right back there.
At an
We got
undisclosed,
Crane City around us because there's cranes everywhere.
The state bird
because
is
they're
back.
building.
Yeah, but we've met. Kevin Tolbert. We've talked to a lot of the players here in the last couple of days. Media days have been here. Just quick, guys. What are your take? Will, you live right here, so what's it like when the Knights when it's baseball season?
I mean, it's amazing. There's so much energy. You know, people are out there. A lot of arcade. It's full. People there eating stuff before they go to the game. You've got, I'm watching. I from where I live, I can actually watch the game from the board right there. But I can actually see all the players too. So it's just the energy is just great. Now, parking sucks in my parking deck because people.
Yeah, we know about that.
They park in my parking deck, so that part kind of sucks.
Ask me and Reggie about that. And by the way, thanks to Reggie.
But it's besides that, it's wonderful. There's a lot of people that really don't come uptown. They come up. It's a great time. It doesn't cost you a lot of money. It's probably the most economical value for what you pay for what you get in probably all of Charlotte.
And,
I would tend to agree with that. I don't even live close by, and I still find a way to make it up here. And there's ways to kind of make it work. Like you said, the parking's not ideal. But if you can get around that aspect, coming to this ballpark to watch a game, it's a good time whether you want to sit in the grass in the outfield and hang out up there, or whether you want to actually sit in a chair inside the stadium.
Yeah.
There's not bad sight lines really anywhere in here.
It's really not. I mean, there's great sight lines for the game. There's great views. I mean, my Instagram feeds are just full of people taking pictures of the skyline from the seats, regardless where they are. So, I mean, it's a beautiful park. The way it's put together is amazing. I wish they could expand it to make it bigger in case they ever got Major League Baseball.
Well, I was about to say,
but they can't.
Tommy Vowell, their media relations director, does a tremendous job with sending out releases. He's bringing in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I believe, my good friend from, I think, on June 5th. But I believe this minor league baseball team outdraws the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays every year. They get more fans. So if you can go to Puerto Rico and play exhibition somewhere, why not put a team here until you can maybe build around it? Well, you'd have to pull some strings to call your friend Governor Cooper and maybe get some things done to where you could maybe expand this.
Well, the thing is, I remember when they were building. I remember being in on some of the meetings that they had when they first started talking about the stadium, the ballpark. They can't expand it. The way it's built is not built to expand.
Right.
But they're landlocked as it is. It's the most beautiful stadium or ballpark in AAA baseball. But it's also the smallest.
And it to that point, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, you would know this better than I, but I know when they got ready to start planning to build this ballpark here, wasn't there discussion about building it so it could be expandable, but it just became not feasible?
Yeah, he was named Jeff Bieber. I think that Jeff Bieber, they kept suing the city, like getting injunctions and stuff, because he wanted me to build a park that could expand to hold Major League Baseball.
That's just.
There's an organization called the Charlotte Bats, and I follow them on LinkedIn, and they're always trying to tout Charlotte as an expansion city. But I think this is definitely the place. This is the model. Just supersize this. They do a great job. And by the way, opening day is tomorrow against the Durham Bulls. So and that's a 7:04 first pitch. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 2:05 first pitch. That's a TBS time, I believe.
And I think don't they play in BB&T Ballpark too? I think they both play.
I'm not sure, but I think you might be right.
Yeah, they both play in BB&T
Field at Wake Forest. I know that. So they got a lot of money out here.
I think, and I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive that they play in BB&T Ballpark just like the Knights play in the BB&T Ballpark. BB&T got money.
I mean, you know, they're doing what they do. They're putting their name on stuff. You know, so I mean,
you know, the White Sox are the parent ball club of the Charlotte Knights.
Yeah,
this is a franchise that is
owned by the Bulls. Owner of the Bulls.
I'm telling you, the Reinsdorf family, I believe, owns the White Sox. But this roster of the White Sox, from here down through the Knights, Birmingham Barons, Winston-Salem. What's their name, Tommy? The Dash. Tommy Viola right off camera here, and my hometown team, the Kannapolis Intimidators. So this is a great organization right here for the most part, and this organization is well stocked, Reggie, with talent all throughout the chain. They've made great trades. So they're all starting to hit the major leagues right about now, but they all come right through here, and you can see tomorrow's stars today.
Yeah, I think that's the toughest part for some people to remember is that, you know, this roster this year will look quite different than last season, mainly because of the turnover of the roster. This is an organization at the top that's completely turning over. They were 62-100 last year in terms of the White Sox. They're turning their roster over. So a lot of the guys that were here last year are going to be at the major league level this year.
Moving on up.
Some new guys coming in. So the talent is turning over. But I think this is an exciting time
Tommy
because
V, my man, grab a mic, man.
This
I want to get you in here.
I don't want you to get too much sunburn on your head. How's that?
I know. I love
For the people at home, he's whining about a hat. He could have waited till the end of the segment.
The Knights are my favorite.
He could have waited till the end of the segment, but we do need to get that hat on because that is a nice hat. I need to get me one.
Kannapolis Intimidators are my favorite minor league
But
team.
with that being said,
Kevin had a glare on his camera, so he needed to get something.
he'll be all right. But to that point, and I'll kind of take it to Tommy here, a lot of guys that were here last year are probably going to spend a lot of time at the major league level, and then a lot of guys that were at AA last year will be here. So the turnover, I mean, obviously for you, that keeps you busy dealing with transactions and making sure people know what's going on. But at the same time, it's an exciting time to be around the organization.
It is exciting. And first off, thanks for having me here today, guys. Good to have you out to the
thanks for having
ballpark.
us.
Beautiful
Right.
day, right? This is nice.
Ready for baseball, man. It's
And
baseball
two Nittany
season.
Lions over here on the
That's
end of the
right.
set.
Penn State right here.
So that's it, baby. That's how
here
we
we
do
go.
it. That's right. We are.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. We got a day to opening day here, so tomorrow we kick it off. Got a lot going on here at the ballpark today, and you're right, Reggie. I mean, when you think about guys and development of young talent, and Kevin, you were saying, I mean, there's been a lot of trades in this organization the last couple of years, and we've seen guys like Eloy Jimenez now go up to the majors.
The
Yohan
Quintana
Moncada.
trade, the Sale trade, all stocked the organization with future talent.
They
and
absolutely
present
did.
talent.
Oh, absolutely. And you're seeing those guys now at the major league level perform, and then you're going to see these guys here perform. We got a young guy now by the name of Dylan Cease, who's going to be in our rotation.
Yes.
One of the top 5 prospects in the organization. We're going to see him this year.
Quite an arm.
Oh, he's got an arm. He's a young kid. He's another guy that was in the trade, of course, with Eloy Jimenez. So you're going to see him this year. We got a shortstop that you guys know, Alcides Escobar.
Escobar.
35-year-old shortstop. He's a former Gold Glover, All-Star, was a member of the 2015 Kansas City Royals World Series team.
Yep.
So you got everything from young talent to guys that have already been established and trying to get their way back up to the majors. So you see a little bit of everything here.
You need the veterans to kind of show the young guys how to be professionals. And I go back to Corky Miller. I know a guy
Corky
great
Miller.
red.
Wow.
He donated a ping pong table, I believe.
That's right.
To the Charlotte Knights.
That's many years ago.
Well, I know, but I go back a few years.
Okay.
And I'm just saying, those are the kind of guys. Yeah, well, I'm not going to go back that far, but
You already did.
You just did.
You did.
You're the relic man. I'll let him.
I didn't do it. And go, I didn't do it.
I was buddies with Jim Tomey when he was in Puerto Rican Winter Leagues, when he was coming up through the Knights, and he was telling me, he said, you're from Charlotte area. I said, yeah, I'm coming up through there next year. I said, yeah, and he turned out pretty good.
Yeah, he turned out a Hall of Famer, of course, and now you're talking 26, 27 years ago.
So you keep going further back.
going
You might want to be
man.
quiet over there.
I know.
First rule of holes: when you're in one, stop digging.
That's it. That's it.
Tommy V, you do such a great job. I get all your email list, but baseball's already started. You have an extensive college baseball series that's already started.
Yeah, we're actually wrapping that up. We have one more game left to go. Actually, last night here we had NC State, which was the top team in the country. They lost to the South Carolina Gamecocks last night. That was an awesome, great game that went into extra innings, and just a phenomenal game there. But the Gamecocks will be back on April 16th, and they face the Tar Heels. So you got the UNC USC matchup here every year now, going into our 4th year doing that. And the 49ers play games here all year as well.
Yeah, I think it's great that you guys do that. There's so much high-quality college baseball in the state as well. For a lot of people, they don't know, North Carolina A&T actually earlier this year shut out South Carolina in baseball, which is unheard of. So that tells you right there the quality of baseball at the collegiate level throughout the state. And those are some of the type of players you may see here in the next couple of years as well, depending on where they get drafted.
And Tommy, a lot of features, national anthem singers go through a routine. But before we get to that, a lot of stuff that goes on outside of just baseball. You bring in a lot of entertainment outside of baseball. Some old wrestling buddies show up, like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I used to work out at Steamboat's gym on Harris Boulevard back in the day.
I heard you might have his belt.
I do. I got his belt. So,
yeah, how'd that happen?
I don't want to go into too much. I don't want Steamers.
I know you didn't win it.
You don't know that, Reggie. You weren't there.
I do know that.
All right,
and that's the truth.
He may have won it.
Casey.
He may have won. He may have won it.
I got the belt. I got the belt.
Right. Exactly.
I have the belt right now. You tell Steamer I got the Steamboat's gym belt.
He may run a fantasy league or something.
All right.
Now y'all do a lot of promos. I know you have the initiative with the Latin American community here in the area.
Absolutely.
Los Caballeros.
That's right.
And some other different things. What are some of the things we can look forward to this year?
Yeah, and the Caballeros de Charlotte. I mean, we're doing 3 of those games this year. That's been a really exciting initiative for us. Pit Masters, we've done that, Kevin. Of course, if you're a fan of delicious barbecue, we got that. We got a lot of great stuff, and you're right. I mean, being a big wrestling fan that I am, I bring out wrestlers through the years, and we've had George the Animal Steel, Tito Santana. I mean, we had Jerry King Lawler. We had Ted DiBiase last year.
$1 Million Man.
And this year, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat on June 5th. That's right. He had to laugh. He actually paid off one of our plays. He didn't throw out the first pitch last year. He paid off one of our players so that they could throw out the perfect first pitch.
Smart money right there. Work smarter, not harder.
I have a question / request. I know you guys, looks like most of the sports organizations here in the Charlotte area or the Carolinas in general are huge with the military.
Yeah,
a lot of military appreciation. North Carolina now has the Military Veterans Hall of Fame.
I know, and I want to get you to throw a first pitch out one of these days.
Oh man, I'd love to throw out the first pitch.
I think we talked about that at one point. Let's
try to remember.
Don't embarrass yourself.
Hey, I don't mind. Hey, I can beat Carl Lewis and 50 Cent. That's all I need to do.
Can you beat Mariah Carey?
The mayor of Cincinnati.
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
How about Bowie, too?
But like I said, we got our second class getting inducted on the 26th of this month.
Okay.
We have a second class getting inducted. But yeah, we'd love to come out there. I know we talked a little bit about that before.
Yeah.
But that'd be awesome to come out. But I'd love to throw out the first. I always wanted to throw out the first pitch anyway.
And speaking of which, you can't start a game without the national anthem.
Exactly.
And Kevin Tolbert did an extensive feature on what it takes to sing the national anthem at a Knights game. Let's go to that.
Hey, what's up? This is Tommy Vella from the Charlotte Knights. We're here at Queen City Q in Uptown Charlotte for tonight's 6th annual National Anthem auditions. Let's get it started.
What so proudly we hailed
His broad streams and bright stars,
And the rocket's red glare,
the bombs bursting in air,
and the bombs bursting in air.
gave proof through the night.
She was awesome. I thought she was good. And I think we're going to have some really good singers at the Charlotte Knights this year.
We have seen a wide range in terms of ages and musical styles. We've had mostly singers. We've had some saxophone players come out, and the talent again this year is amazing. It's really a hard job to judge this. You want everybody to be able to sing the national anthem at BB&T Ballpark for the Charlotte Knights this season. But we're getting there, and we're about halfway through now, and I'm really looking forward to the second half because I know that there's more great local talent coming through.
To be out there with family and doing it, and when people get who you are, and the fact that it's such a, especially to my dad, to be in his position and be able to play with his son and grandson is just it's a great thing. It's so much fun to do.
Oh, it would be amazing. The fireworks, all the atmosphere is there, so I would love to do it.
We had a young man here named Ashton who just blew the roof off of Queen City Q here.
The bombs bursting in air, gave proof through
another very impressive talent. And at such a young age, that kid is probably going to go very far with his singing career if that's what he chooses to do. I would also expect to see him out at BB&T Ballpark this season.
I always wanted to do it professionally, but I never thought I could do it. So I said, what the heck, go ahead and give it a try and see how I do.
I like this. Of the city. Thank you so much, sir. You're so kind.
What is the key to nailing a really good national anthem?
Make sure you're in the right key for what is comfortable for your voice, and making sure that you remember the words.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
They got all 10s for me right across the board. So I would expect to see the Lehman sisters at a Knights game this season.
We've been wanting to go to the Knights Stadium too, and we haven't been yet. So to be singing at the stadium would be the coolest thing. Yeah, so cool.
What are those 3 judges listening for as they scout each and every talent?
Well, they're looking, first of all, can the folks hit the lyrics? Can they hit those notes well? And are they performing well in front of an audience here? Because they're going to face an audience this size and much larger, obviously, at the ballpark.
For the land of the free
And the home.
and the home.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, welcome back to BB&T Ballpark with William Wilson, Reggie Walker, and Tommy Viola. Tommy, lots of people want to stay involved and in touch with the Charlotte Knights to keep up with all the latest comings and goings. How can people stay involved and get the latest information on the Knights?
Yeah, I mean, you can check us out. We're on the web, of course, charlotteknights.com. We're on, obviously, social media, at Knights Baseball on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook as well. Always sharing a lot of new things. We're going to show off some of these new food items here a little bit later today. So a lot of good
Best
stuff.
food in the minor leagues, man, right here.
Yeah, listen, there's a feature coming out on those as well. So I can't wait, because every time I come to this ballpark, I eat like a champ.
Well, we got room, Reg.
And they got those, man. They got some of the best hot dogs around. I think they got like the hot dog area.
All right, well,
the Chusky boy need an 8-piece. Y'all know me.
I know that. All right, we've got more Knights baseball to talk about from BB&T Ballpark. We're coming right back right after this.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
All right, welcome back to BB&T Ballpark with William Wilson, and I'm Rafael. Step in, please. I'm gonna try to say your name, Rafael Bastides. Rafael, grab a microphone. Rafael, what do you?
So he can't dress for work.
I know he looks like he's straight out of William Wilson clothing.
Dressed like a professional.
Didn't come out of Express, that's for sure.
In the morning, I would like to say the same dress.
Rafael, what do you do for the Knights?
Well, I'm currently the manager for market lighting. So my position is embrace the Latin culture, open the new window here in the BB&T Ballpark. So we try to embrace the culture and to do the best we can in our Latino community in Charlotte.
You know, before we get into more baseball, I go to church, St. James Catholic Church in Concord, North Carolina, the largest Hispanic population in all the North and South Carolina, and it's the fastest growing Hispanic population for all Catholic churches in the Carolinas. So I just want to, maybe you can do some outreach to a growing community that could really wants to come down and see some good baseball.
Yeah, that's true. What you say, that's a very important statistic to determine here in Charlotte. So Copa Diversión, that's an initiative for minor league 2 years ago in 2007. And now in 2009, the Charlotte Knights say, well, we need to get somebody for work with the Latino community, because we have been right now like at 33% in the Charlotte. That's very important for the Latino community, even for a business, even for a no-profit, even for a profit organization. And now my job is to bring all the people here in the stadium, even to promote the activity, promote the nice environment, to bring all the family, because we have Latin players too with us.
Absolutely.
We have Latin players, and they like to be part of the party. They have to be part, and that's a good environment that offer a BB&T Ballpark.
I can tell you right now, my professional wrestling career took me to Puerto Rico, La Lucha Libre, Super Estrellas de la Lucha Libre,
okay.
and I was down there during Winter League Baseball, and I can tell you, being a villain, the fans are all baseball players, because they don't miss when they're throwing rocks and stuff at you. I can and spark plugs. I've been hit, and they're all accurate. They're all great throwers, and all my friends, they all had friends who played. Who's the guy who played for the Yankees and the Royals and the Astros? I think he's in the Hall of Fame now. There's so many great. Tony Perez lives.
Tony Perez.
He lives down there now. I used to go to Ed Figueroa Sports Bar when I was down there.
Mm-hmm.
Great culture, great place to watch. And we've seen the exhibitions over the years at Bithorn Stadium down in Puerto Rico. I can't wait for Cuba to have a baseball team with maybe a change in government and things could go to that nature. But the Dominican Republic is huge. Venezuela, a lot of good baseball talent coming from the Caribbean and South America.
Let me ask you, because I'm kind of new to baseball and things like this. But a friend of mine is the pitching coordinator for the Yankees. So I got down for Yankees camp, and he shows me like they've got 120 pitchers in their organization. And or 180, I think it is. But he talks about this, and a huge number of them are Latin players. What is it about baseball that draws the Latin players so strongly?
Well, for them, first of all, the language. So when we talk about to speak another language, that's very important. The beginning of the career is hard, especially with your catcher, your pitcher. You are the most important player in the field. They need to understand when you you try to speak another language, you learn the language, you improve your work in the field. So also to enter another culture. You came from another culture, right? I'm from Venezuela, for example, and my food is arepa here. I need to understand the burger, hot dog. I love that. This is part of the culture in BB&T Ballpark or another ballpark. However, most of the players, they come in very younger, 17, 18, and they don't know anything about another language, another thing, another culture. So now with that kind of program like a Copa Diversión or with doing minor league, we integrate everything because we have a prospect here, the 19, 20, and they need to be confident with somebody. In my case, I'm be part of even to support media when they need to translate some words, when they need to speak with the media, when they need to and the process inside the Charlotte. So for them, they're very, very hard sometimes they transition for another culture.
Right. That makes sense.
And a lot of the major league, and I guess now in the minor leagues, it's coming down to where people in your capacities are also serving as translators or working for the organizations. They're being liaisons for the players into the media and helping people assimilate into, like, get apartments, go to the store, and just try to avoid unnecessary distractions.
Yeah, well, that's you said, that's very true. So in my case here, I try to provide a good environment, the family even, because families is all day alone, and they need to know the city, they need to know where they're going, what have to do when the place is on the road. So Charlotte and I do the great activity with me in order to be part of the Latino community and say, hey, call Rafael to the office, and Rafael be part of your whatever you need in your life. And the player, they know now, most of the players inside say, thank you so much, we got somebody Latin guy, he's inside with us. And
you can also see that a lot of the players are trusting of people in your position because they're young and maybe they can't speak completely fluent, or they're not comfortable being on camera, on record, or being in a media environment, that you could help them. And then eventually they're starting to do their own interviews, and their English is improving to where they can even do English and Spanish interviews, or both.
Yeah, both. We can work in both, and I feel happy for that because Copa Diversión in Caso Caballero of Charlotte, that's the name for us. We had 3 games this year, one in June 9, another in July 23rd, and August 17th. 3 different games. That's a fiesta party here in the BB&T Ballpark. They speak not just Spanish, we can speak another language because it's a culture. However, we identify for Latin culture because it's 3 days for Caballero of Charlotte.
Best food year round, by the way. But thank you for pointing out about the Caballeros. Those are big nights, all sold out. But check with the Knights organization. There's probably a few tickets still that you can get hold of.
And then you can check it out. We have a Twitter, like a Caballero de CLT, Caballero de CLT, Caballero de CLT. You can find any information in Spanish. We can write in Spanish all day. Everything happening in BB&T Ballpark.
And I think it's awesome because when you come into a new country, a new culture, a new community, I know as in the Navy going overseas, always good to have a liaison that we could talk to. It makes you feel like you're at home. You don't feel alone.
All right, well, Raphael, thank you so much for coming out here. We're going to come back with more Knights baseball here at BB&T Ballpark right after this.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
All right, welcome back to Talking About Sports. We're here at BB&T Ballpark, beautiful BB&T Ballpark, with Rob Egan, the general manager of the Charlotte Knights, and William Wilson. Rob, thanks for having us out at the ballpark. Always a good day to be at the ballpark.
It certainly is, and it's a better day today than it was yesterday weather-wise.
A little bit warmer.
We're loving it out here. And
how about this?
I woke up yesterday. I live right over here.
Okay.
I woke up, I'm looking out my window, I'm like, it's snowing. Like, am I crazy?
On April 2nd.
And it kept throwing worse and worse. I'm like, how is this happening?
No matter where you work, nothing can beat having the ballpark as your office.
Well, that's for sure. A snowy day at the ballpark it's still
the ballpark.
At the ballpark. That's right. So we're looking forward to opening night coming up tomorrow, and weather's supposed to be even better than today, which is hard to imagine when you look out here right now. So
Durham Bulls in town's always going to be good interstate rivalry, and looking forward to a great opening night and a good season. You guys lead the league. What's the secret? I know Tommy Viola does a great job getting the media releases out there and making this not just a baseball game. It's an entertainment. It's like a whole event. You go out there, you take the whole family. It's a great night.
Yeah, and we treat it that way because we know that there are ardent baseball fans among our crowd, but probably outnumbered by the number of people that come out for a night out to enjoy themselves, food and drink, walk around this beautiful concourse, see the skyline, enjoy the promotions. So the baseball is certainly at our core, but we're so much more than that here at the ballpark. And it takes a lot of effort to put that promotional calendar together from our marketing team all the way through to our production that you'll see on our video board and through our speakers. It just, we try to leave no stone unturned so that people think, man, I really got my money's worth out there tonight, and I look forward to coming back.
And I like the fact the way you've embraced the Hispanic community with Rafael and the Caballeros. They always draw well, and it's just a great the way that you've embraced the community, and the community has embraced you, hence leading the league in all of minor league baseball in attendance year after year.
Yeah, we look at it as a great partnership with the community. They support us so well in this ballpark that it's on us to go back out and give to the community and let everybody know, hey, come on out and see us. We're going to come out and see you. We're here. We're here long term. We're a partner with this community.
community, and we're blessed. We're in a great facility, well supported, and it's just our job not to screw it up and do the right things.
Yeah, well, I tell you, from the business side of it, I was there for a lot of the planning. Like, you guys had a lot of meetings with the city and the community about what you guys were going to do. I remember when they said they're going to build it in the ground, 18 feet into the ground. We're going to have great sight line like that. You're going to dig a hole and put a baseball field. Like, in my mind, I couldn't envision it. But I sat and watched them as they built the whole thing, and it's beautiful. But what I love, they said we're going to keep the parking low. So we're negotiating with the parking decks to make sure the parking isn't overly expensive so parents can go out and have a good game. And I love the fact you guys said something and you stuck with it.
Well, it's certainly the vision of our owner, Don Beaver, and his partner, Bill Allen, and our COO, Dan Rakowski. Dan fought long and hard, along with Mr. Beaver, to get this ballpark uptown. Not that they didn't like Fort Millen, certainly was well supported out there as well. They just figured for the Renaissance and for this franchise to go to the next level, which is where the city and the region is going, let's face it, we needed to be uptown if at all possible. And Dan was telling the story again last night. I've heard him tell it 100 times, and I've been here 3 years, but it never gets old. He said we had 6 potential sites. This was the second site I looked at, and he said, I knew right then and there this was the site. And when you look around at the cityscape around us, and the fact that intentionally digging down a hole so you can keep that cityscape for the long term, it was a great vision, and it's come to reality.
I did a whole bunch of games at the old Knights Castle, and I have friends that go back to the Charlotte O's days. But tell us about, this is near and dear to William Wilson, who's a veteran in the North Carolina Military Veterans Hall of Fame, a Navy man. You have a POW seat. Explain that and the significance of that.
Yes, so we have a POW MIA seat here at the ballpark that was dedicated in late March of last year, so it's just over a year old, and we thought it was incumbent upon us to dedicate that here, a seat that would never be occupied, but there in remembrance of those who have not come back from foreign wars. And certainly we salute them on a daily basis here at the ballpark through the things that we do, but that chair is a constant reminder to us of the sacrifices that people make so that we can do the things that we do in making it enjoyable out here for the community. So we appreciate your service, and we appreciate all those men and women who served and paid the ultimate sacrifice.
Well, I tell you, as a veteran, quite often I see a lot of the pomp and circumstance that goes on during all the games and stuff. And to be honest, I was really disappointed to find out that the Department of Defense has to pay for a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
That was to me, that was just a slap in the face. It's like, we protect you and then you charge us to recognize us.
Right.
But I think it's amazing you guys are willing to say, no, we're going to lose the revenue on this seat for 162 games. Plus playoffs games.
Well,
stuff.
minor league, home games.
Yeah,
right.
7, yep.
Right. Half of it. My fault. My fault. But you're willing to lose the revenue to honor those that are there. That's big. That's big to me. Now, is that something that happens at all the ballparks? Is that just something you guys exclusively do here?
Well, it has been done at other ballparks as well, but we didn't have that here. So we're going into our 5th season, and we said we need to do that here at the ballpark. We've been working with so many veterans groups and so forth, but we didn't have that seat here at the ballpark, and we thought it's past time. We need to get this done. And like with everything we do here, we didn't just dedicate it one night in front of a home game crowd. We had a special event here and invited several folks, and had over 300 show up on a non-game day in late March to be a part of that. So we really embrace that and all that it stands for. And you're right, William, it does leave a little bit of distaste when you have the Department of Defense paying for things like that. That wasn't what this was all about. This was about saluting those who have paid that sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. And as a veteran, it means even more to me knowing that there's some other places that do it, but it's not a mandated Major League or minor league baseball thing. It's something you guys decided to do on your own.
Right.
That makes it mean so much more to me as somebody who's bled for my country and got bullet holes and stuff in my body. The memories that I have in my mind from the things I went through, to know I can look out from my balcony and look down and see the seat that no one will ever sit in. Right. That matters to me. That means a lot. That probably means more to me than anything you'll ever say as GM of this organization.
Give military discounts for people who want to buy tickets.
We do as well. We work with VetTix, who makes those available online. So we have a certain allotment of tickets that are available. If veterans have access to that. And what's cool about that is several minor league clubs and even major league organizations take part in that, of available tickets that they put out there that if you look for them on that website, vettix.com, you can find them.
We've got, in addition to all the great promotions, the great food, and the great location, it's still baseball. And you got to, year after year, you have a good quality ball club. And the organizations, the White Sox, have made a lot of good trades over the years. Recently, you have Carlos Quintana, Chris Sale. Some of they brought in a wealth of talent that started in the low A's, the Kannapolis Intimidators, Winston-Salem Dash, Birmingham Barons, and then they fed up through the Charlotte Knights into the White Sox organization.
Yeah, right. And a guy that was acquired in one of those deals recently pitched here through a no-hitter for us. First one in this ballpark, Lucas Giolito, just pitched well and got the win for the White Sox the other day. So it's awesome. Cool to see that lineup and that rotation filled with guys that have come through here the last few years. And it's going to continue because we have the top pitching prospect in the White Sox organization and one of the tops in baseball in Dylan Cease, who was acquired in one of those deals. He's on our ball club. So we look forward to seeing him pitch during this opening homestand. And we have two of the top catchers in the White Sox organization right here in Sebi Zavala and Zach Collins. So going to be a fun battery this year.
And I think the White Sox are poised for a long run. Their window hasn't even opened yet, but they're very close to opening the window, thanks to the talent that has come through the entire organization. And the kickoff point is coming up from the Charlotte Knights.
Well, and we certainly are fortunate in that regard, too, because we've seen a lot of talent over the years, but especially so over the last three.
I'll tell you something that's kind of neat. Me, like I said, watch this whole thing, and I wish I'd brought it with me. I was there for the groundbreaking. And I've actually got one of the jars with the original dirt. I got a picture of me with the shovel. And
I knew you had dirt on a lot of people.
That little jar of dirt with BB&T Ballpark. It's kind of neat to go from there and that dusty day and how the tents you guys had set up here till looking at what it's turned into. It's awesome.
Well, Rob, thanks a lot for coming out here and for all the great job you're doing for the community with Los Caballeros, and you and Tommy Viola are doing a great job with the whole experience, not just the game, but the whole experience for coming out here. Thanks a lot, and we're coming back with more Talking About Sports from BB&T Ballpark right after this.
At Heslop Wealth Advisors, our goal is to help small businesses develop quality retirement plans for their employees through our Lunch and Learn seminars. We provide lunch and learning tools to help your company succeed and unmatched customer service.
All right, great feature. Good hearing from some of the young players and who they'd like.
Talk about favorite players of all time.
All right, our favorite players of all times. All right, Will, they know about baseball in Arkansas. They have the Arkansas Travelers. That was a baseball team, right?
Yeah, we got the Arkansas Travelers, and my beloved Razorbacks play in Baum Stadium. It's bigger than this. We hold 15,000. We sell out almost every night.
John Daly should take the golf ball and hit it from home plate. I bet he could hit it out.
Everyone can hit it out. That's what really surprised me. You talk about how far they hit a baseball. Like, he's 400-something feet. I'm like, I can hit a 9-iron that long. Wow. 400 feet is only isn't really that long.
Yeah.
130-some yards.
I'm a Reds fan, as you know. I got my hat right here, but I don't want to disrespect the Knights by wearing it here. But
that was your decision.
No, what? No, I just wanted to wear a hat because I'm just saying I'm whitey here. I can't get too red to match my neck. I don't want my head matching my neck. Okay.
Hey, let the record show. Kevin Casey said that.
All right.
Not William Wilson.
All right. Well, it's not what you hadn't told me privately before. I've heard, by the way. But anyway, I like Cincinnati Reds. We got, and a lot of the, Rafael was talking about, people like the Tony Perez, Eduardo Perez, who you see on ESPN Deportes, great commentator. And you can't get through the history of Major League Baseball, at least until probably the 40s, until you talk about the Hispanic players. But what we got? We're going to a break now, KT? Is that what we're doing? Oh, we're going to the players now. All right, those are our players. Let's hear what the actual players and who they'd like and what they're talking about.
Favorite all-time player, Ken Griffey Jr.
Any reason why?
when I grew up, I was an outfielder, and his swing and everything about him. And then once I got to high school, I started pitching and kind of changed from Griffey to Kershaw, but any person would be Junior.
Derek Jeter. The way he went about the game, you didn't hear of him getting in trouble off the field. He was just real professional, especially being in New York. It was fun to watch.
Roger Clemens, by far. Yeah.
Any specific reason?
I met him when I grew up. Or growing up, I got to meet him, and I'd always just idolized him and the way he pitched, and
Oof, wow. I like to watch so much like Chapman, Betances, and the Marcus Stroman. So like how he's like taking the game and the motion, something like that.
I grew up in the 90s, and I play outfield, so it's Ken Griffey Jr., of course. Him and Jim Edmonds, two center fielders that I watch play every day. So those are the kind of the guys that I tried to emulate kind of growing up.
Cool. And do you have an Instagram or
His dad played for the Reds. All right, welcome back to Talking About Sports with William Wilson here at BB&T Ballpark. I noticed one of the guys talked about, as we see the Circle K Corner Club new to the BB&T Stadium this year, one of the guys talked about Ken Griffey Jr., former Red.
Yep, the
kid, his dad played. Ken Griffey Sr. played for the Reds, managed the Bakersfield Blaze, but definitely love baseball. Love hearing these young guys because they have energy and they have passion, and they're the next stars of the game. And as we look over here we're going to get some of this, some of the vittles out of here, Will, from the Corner Club here.
Oh, I will be getting some because my favorite food on earth are hot dogs. And people laugh at me when I say this. I love gas station hot dogs. So the fact there's a Circle K hot dogs over here, I'm going to be all about that.
Yeah. What about training camp? What? Yeah, they're getting some momentum from the training camp, but I want to get some of that food over there. Will, I'm with you, man. I see Tommy Viola over there.
Yeah,
our man from
some hot dogs stacked over there.
I know they got my name on it.
Oh, I see.
Got your name on
it. Hey, he's got a bag.
And
I think we got food coming.
Look at
the man's coming through. That's why he got the mohawks. He'd be streamlined.
Oh my God, that's a burger there, Will. That's got your name on it.
Pimento cheese on it.
Oh, it looks like some peppers.
Yeah, that's a serious burger. It's like pimento cheese and mushrooms and onions and.
All right, I'm trying not to spill this.
There's a lot going on with that burger.
Lots of stuff. It looks good, man. I know that.
That does look very, very good.
Oh yeah, man.
And those are the kind of things we're gonna be sampling after we get off the show. Yeah. Maybe Kevin to do a feature where we can see some of those things later on that we can.
Screw the feature, man. Feed the talent, man. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh well, we work for food.
Yeah. Well,
we work for food and parking.
All right, Will, you got a quick final thought here?
Come out tonight. Like I said, if you want to have a really, really great
tomorrow night,
time,
opening day against the Bulls, Durham Bulls. Tomorrow night.
You can say that for your closing.
No, I'm just asking you what you want.
My closing, I think that's a cool thing. But I think if you want to go out, bring your family out, have a great time, and not break the wallet, have a great experience, a wonderful time. Come out here to the ballpark. Come out, take them out to the ball game. It's going to be a wonderful time. Like I said, it's not going to break the bank. I think it's like. Tickets start at $8-10 or something like this.
I don't know. I used to talk to Tommy about that.
And it's just a wonderful time. They have great food. And when you're done, you can walk across the street to Romary Beard Park and play catch with your kid or something.
I'll just go to your house because I know there's always action going on up at your apartment. I can watch a game or just come down here and hang out and see all the good food here. I know you say when you want me to come over to eat, you always say, let's go to the Knight Stadium to get something to eat.
There you go.
All right. So
I can't afford to feed Big Kev.
All right, that's why I'm here. And I did see our man Nate Wimberly from Channel 3. So notice D-Man's not out here. Nate's doing all the work, so that's always good to know. Quick thought from I'm looking forward to a great baseball season, whether it be major leagues or minor leagues. I hope my Cincinnati Reds can have a winning record. I hope the Charlotte Knights win the Governor's Cup. That would be great. All the way down to the Kannapolis Intimidators, their final year at Atrium Northeast Ballpark. So, and let's go before we close for William Wilson and Reggie Walker, Tommy Viola, Kevin Tolbert. Let's throw it to a great feature on how you can become a national anthem singer with the Charlotte Knights.
Hey, what's up? This is Tommy Viola from the Charlotte Knights. We're here at Queen City Q in Uptown Charlotte for tonight's 6th annual national anthem auditions. Let's get it started.
What so proudly we held,
whose broad strings and bright stars,
and night's red glare.
The bombs bursting in air.
The bombs bursting in air.
Gave proof through the night.
Gave proof through the night.
She was awesome. I thought she was good. And I think we're going to have some really good singers at the Charlotte Knights this year.
We have seen a wide range in terms of ages and musical styles. We've had mostly singers. We've had some saxophone players come out, and the talent again this year is amazing. It's really a hard job to judge this. You want everybody to be able to sing the national anthem at BB&T Ballpark for the Charlotte Knights this season. But we're getting there, and we're about halfway through now, and I'm really looking forward to the second half because I know that there's more great local talent coming through.
To be out there with family and doing it, and when people get who you are, and the fact that it's such a, especially to my dad, to be in his position and be able to play with his son and grandson, it's a great thing. It's so much fun to do.
Oh, it would be amazing. The fireworks, all the atmosphere is there, so I would love to do it.
We had a young man here named Ashton who just blew the roof off of Queen City Q here. Another very impressive talent. And at such a young age, that kid is probably going to go very far with his singing career if that's what he chooses to do. I would also expect to see him out at BB&T Ballpark this season.
I always wanted to do it professionally, but I never thought I could do it. So I said, what the heck, going to give it a try and see how I do.
I like this. Of the city. Thank you so much, sir. You're so kind.
What is the key to nailing a really good national anthem?
Make sure you're in the right key for what is comfortable for your voice, and making sure that you remember the words.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?
They got all 10s for me right across the board. So I would expect to see the Lehman sisters at a Knights game this season.
We've been wanting to go to the Knights Stadium too, and we haven't been yet. So to be singing at the stadium would be the coolest thing. Yeah, so cool.
What are those three judges listening for as they scout each and every talent?
Well, they're looking, first of all, can the folks hit the lyrics? Can they hit those notes well? And are they performing well in front of an audience here? Because they're going to face an audience this size and much larger, obviously, at the ballpark.
For the land of the free
and the home.
And the home.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, welcome back to BB&T Ballpark with William Wilson. Circle K Corner Club, there's action started. I saw Tommy Viola over there, Will, swabbing the deck. Is that what they wiping the tables down? But in the Navy, they call it swabbing the deck.
Yeah.
That's just, you say that's what?
No, swabbing the deck is when you're is mopping the floor.
All right.
But what he was doing, that's showing leadership.
All right.
A real leader doesn't ask his people to do anything he's not willing to do.
There you go. He's
That's
a leader.
Leadership.
And thanks to Rob Egan for having us out here. And our friend Mike Pacheco somewhere around here. But I see the action. We don't want to get a lap down. So we're going to have to go. And by the way, Kyle Busch is going to be strong at Bristol this week, by the way.
So will Kurt.
I know. You're a guy. Maybe you give him a jacket at Charlotte Motor Speedway this year. But we got to get over there because I think there's some hot dogs calling us. All the local media are there. We're here. This has been Talking About Sports from BB&T Ballpark.